So these are the wheels that it came with. Obviously they're not correct for the vehicle. These aren't the actual wheels it would have had originally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one on and see if it will fit within that arch. Not we're going to use them obviously, but I just want to see what's the widest tire we can get away with, because I need to know from making this hole in the back here for the spare tyre to go in. I need to know that it's big enough that it'll take the width of the tyre and the diameter. So I'll change it over and I'll show you. So there's no way that these are the tyres that are wheels that came with it and tyres that came with it. They just moved it around on. They're absolutely buggered. I wouldn't use them anyway. But it'll give you an idea if you squint what it would look like. That's not even anywhere near the hub. The problem is that this is the original wheels on it here, and you can see how big the circumference is different and the height. It's 8 centimeters taller, and they're 26, 27, and these are 19 and a half. There's no chance. But I just wanted to see if they would go on that arch. The thing about this is if we put bigger wheels on it, the front arches are much wider. All I need to do is, it's only like 6 or 8 bolts that hold that on. All I'd have to do is split it down the middle and put a piece in it. It wouldn't, but you can imagine if you squinted, you can imagine what it would look like. It's pretty mean. So that's the concept of the wheel, the spare wheel well, which is good because there's plenty of room between that and the cab, so you can see through the back window. If I pull this back a little bit, you can see it fits right onto that cross member there, that chassis member. It means we don't have to damage that. But I think that's going to look quite nice. And then what I'll do, oh, focus, there we go. What I'm going to do then is I'll build a round section with a hinge on one side, so when you want to get to it you can just open it up. And obviously because the sides tilt upwards and down, you can just put the side down when you lift up the cover. And then we'll bead something into it as well, something, I don't know, whatever. But I think that'll look nice. I mean, you know, you have the facility on these, I think it's a 35, this Citroen, but you have the facilities, or you did have the facilities on these wings, but I just don't like them. I think we're trying to make, the car is still a 30s car, but I'm trying to kind of make it a bit more hot roddy looking, and yeah, I think this is the way to go. You know, who needs 2 spare wheels? But I think that'll look good against the back of the vehicle. There we are. So that's the hole cut for the back of the tyre. You can see it's just right in line with that rear window. I can actually drop it down about 2 centimeters, but I need to leave enough here to put a flange on the back of it down there and round the corner. But that's how it'll look. It'll look nice. And then of course you can imagine the cover over the top of it, so it's completely encased. That's going to look really good. So I've made the tyre well there for it to fit in. I've got to clean it all up, got to weld this across here, weld these flanges. That one I screwed up somehow, but I can weld these two as well. And then what I've done is actually across on this cross member, and I use this as a drain hole. So I kind of cocked up with I put a ½ centimetre too much on the back, which has worked out in my favour, because then if water goes in here, you can see if I go down, it'll go down through that split there, and it's all, when all this flange is all put down. Yeah, so it's worked out nice. And that's how it looks. So you see there's the cross member there. So I've obviously got to weld it all up now. It's just tack welded all the way around. It's worked out alright. So a two-handed job to get it in, but I might have to. Hang on. Excuse me. There we go. There it goes. Sits. Oh yeah. I'll pop the wheel in and see how it sits in there. So it sits. What I can do in now is I can put a bar across this back piece here and put a stud on it, and then a wing, you know, a plate and a nut, whatever. So I was just working it out, that's only a third, this base piece, and it's pretty heavy, so unless I make it out of aluminium it's going to be very hard to lift. So I might see how the situation is. Obviously there's a board to go, sheet to go on the back and the front here, and then I can say have a rod sticking through with a thread on here, and I'll make it with a bolt in it so it lifts up, so you can, you know, put this in at an angle like that. I'll turn around the other way and see how that looks. That might be a better way of doing it. As I say, you can see with where that bar is there, if I drop this forward, where these two bars are here, I'll put a bar across the centre, and then the problem is the centres might be out. I might make that adjustable, I'll see. But it sits nice and straight in there. I'm quite pleased with that. And it's got its own drainage. So, on that note, stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby, and just go out in the garage and see if we can get something done. Bye for now.